Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Hello, welcome, 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 welcome. We always say that welcome 3 times. I don't know why, but we always do. Hello, everyone. It's been a long time since we've seen everybody, so we're happy to see you all. Good evening to those of you who are joining us on YouTube. Hello, hello. Good to see everyone. While you're here, since you can see us and we can't see you, make sure you let us know who's here, who's with us tonight. So we want to know who's with us tonight. So put it in the chat. Let us know who is with us tonight. We are excited to be back. We got a lot to celebrate, and so we want to know who's celebrating with us. Hello there, Dr. Soares.
I know who's not here tonight,
Uh-oh.
and that is Philadelphia. The Eagles are playing the Cowboys, and so there may be one person from Philadelphia. Everybody else is watching the football game.
But I think all the Cowboys
Welcome.
fans quit though, so they should be with us at least.
Welcome, everybody. Yeah, Dallas should be here. No question.
Oh,
Everybody from Dallas
Brother
should be.
Thomas is with us. Frank Thomas is with us from North Carolina. Hello, hello. And who's that? Toya. Okay. Hey, Toya. Where are you calling in from? Oh, the DST, Delta Sigma Theta is in the building. Okay.
All right.
Hey, Mike
How
Penix.
can
Hello,
what
everybody.
are you looking at that you can see? I can't see
Go to
what
the
you can see.
comments where the chat is. Oh, yes. Hello, Yolanda. Okay. So we got a nice crowd coming tonight. Okay. I see. Oh, Camaria. Okay. Hello.
See, she's the one Philadelphia person, Camaria.
Camaria come hang out with us
She
today.
doesn't care who beats
Hey,
who.
Regina Walker's with us. Hey, Regina Walker.
Hey, Walker, she's going to be with us a lot this month.
All right, some folks coming in. Hey, Shonda. Hey, Dr. Soares. All right, I see you. This is good. Okay, Robert Finley's in the building. I hope Mrs. Finley is with us too. That's my girl. All right, hi, Andrea. Or is that Andrea? Oh, from Wheeler Avenue. Okay, in Houston, Texas. We got a lot of folks
Wonderful.
coming in. Yes, this is good. Welcome, everyone. We're super excited to have you with us this evening. Let me just go over a few ground rules. We don't have a lot, but I just want to go over them real quick. You can feel free to share in the chat. We want you to network. We want you to speak to one another. We want you to let everybody know who's here. If you're a Delta, say hi to the Deltas. If you're a Zeta, say hi to the Zetas. Anybody who's with us, the Sigmas. Now you know we have a Sigma with us. So we got to shout them out too. Make sure you all say hello, whatever church you're from. We want to hear about it. So please do be sure to do that. We want you to introduce yourselves to one another, but we also want to know who's with us. Also, we want to make sure that we have interactive conversation tonight. We don't want to just be talking to one another. Dr. Stories and I see each other all the time. We want to make sure that you're involved in this conversation. We have created community intentionally so we can have a good time tonight and celebrate the 20 years of DFREE Global Foundation and the DFREE movement. So we're going to get started. Dr. Stories?
Yeah, welcome everybody. This is the anniversary month for us. D3 actually started in July of 2005 in the basement of First Baptist Church of Lincoln Gardens in Somerset. And you know what's interesting, Reverend Sutton? All of my advisors, all of my leaders, all of my friends outside of the church told me, you don't launch anything new in the summertime.
That's
It's
it.
the worst time. People don't come to church. People are going on vacation. People are going to the beach. And we launched D3 in right in the middle of the summer of 2005. And apparently that was the right thing to do because it's been going strong ever since. But this July, we were still in the process of putting together all of what we're going to share with you this month. And so I want to thank all of you for joining us. I'm particularly grateful for those who came from afar. We have people from Ghana, not just behind the scenes, but we have people from Ghana who are participating as D3 leaders. Next Thursday night at 7:30 Eastern Time, I'll be just doing Q&A around finance, and my special guest will be a financial professional. We always tell people you should talk to a financial professional, and a lot of people have said, well, if I talk to one, what can I expect to see happen?
Right.
And so next Thursday, we have a financial professional coming. And next week, we have a professional debt counselor. Before we started tonight, I just referred someone for debt counseling who perhaps needs debt consolidation. And we're going to talk to a professional to explain what to expect when you talk to one of our professional debt counselor partners. And then the Thursday after that, which is the 18th, we're going to really reveal all of our new products, our new training, our new website, our new community platform, our upgrade and expanded $1 billion challenge. So that's on the 18th. And then on the 25th, we're
Woo.
just going to have a big celebration. We've got um, congratulatory remarks coming from our leaders. We've got people who were with us back in 2005. Can you believe that? We've got the first D3 leader at First Baptist Church who's coming back to
Oh,
give us
wow.
congratulations and to do a lot of celebrating, people giving their testimonies. So this is the month that we reserved for our anniversary celebration, which is also the launch of, I guess I could call this kind of D3 5.0, because we've gone through various changes over the last 20 years. The foundation actually started in 2012, but the brand started in 2005. So, Reverend, I want to thank you personally for hanging there with me. You're here tonight. You're going to be here all month. I want to thank you for your leadership, for your partnership, and for your willingness to be our co-moderator throughout this month.
It is a privilege. I count it an honor to hang out with Dr. Stories up close and personal. I appreciate that. I'm so excited about what's to come. I've loved watching D3 grow, and so we're super excited about. But we want to know who is here and why you are here. Something led you to this tonight. And so we'd like to know what it is. So are you here because you're a D3 leader? Is it because you're familiar with the brand? Are you representing your sorority? Are you representing your church? Is it an organization that you're representing? Are you from Newark Women Moving Forward? Where are you from? So we know the names because I see Cynthia Zeller's in here and some of the
Right.
familiar faces. Oh wait, I see Olivia. Hi, Olivia Blackmore. Yes, good. So that's Delta Sigma Theta. So we want to know: are you going to be starting a group? Are you going to be representing? Are you ready to get recertified in D3? What's going on? We want to know who you are. Okay, let me see. I got to put my glasses on for this one. All right, I
That's a
see.
great question. You must be Ghanaian, at least partly Ghanaian, because when we go to Ghana, every time we go to a different place and go to a different village or visit a different site, the Ghanaian protocol is you have to explain why you are there. So this is kind of the Ghanaian spirit that's bubbled over into D3 because we want people to just type in the chat. Why are you here?
All right now, I'm seeing a lot of churches represented. Reverend Camaria is the first lady at Morris Brown AME. So we're happy to have you. Wendy Stewart is representing Wheeler Avenue Baptist Church in Houston, Texas. Y'all
They'll
got to
be
keep.
with us in Ghana. They were in Ghana in June. They're going back to Ghana, a second group in November. And I'm going to meet them over there. We're going to talk more about the kind of work that they support in Ghana later on.
Ooh, I'm excited about that. Okay, we have another church represented. Oh, Springfield Baptist Church. Oh, new tools for stewardship. Absolutely. You are in the right place, Mr. Jenkins. Yes, indeed.
What is that? Springfield Baptist Church.
Where's your Springfield? Which area? Oh, wait, Mr. Jenkins, I remember you. Where is your Springfield located, Mr. Jenkins? Can you put that in there? I feel like I remember you once I saw your photo pop up. All right, Miss Toya Thomas. We want to grow the wealth in our community. Yes, indeed. I'm not sure if Anthony Jenkins heard me, but we want to know which Springfield Baptist. Is the one I trained? Yes, in Raleigh, North Carolina. Okay, yep. Oh, all right.
Wonderful.
New Testament United Pentecostal Church from Shreveport, Louisiana. Wait, did I say it right? Louisiana. I got to say it in my throat, right?
I've been trying to get to Shreveport since the pandemic. So
Yeah. Uh-oh,
maybe we
somebody's,
now have the right hookup.
this is good. Somebody's looking to start. I think Vita's looking to start a book club in Memphis. So looking
Great.
to start a new study group, yeah, with her book club. First Community AME from Grand Rapids is here. We have a great relationship with Grand Rapids, Michigan. Hello, Yolanda Johnson. Let me see who else is in here. Let me check. They're still coming in, Dr. Story. So we're very excited about that.
Good to
And as
see
we're
everybody.
preparing, yes, yes. As we're preparing, we want to make sure that we know who is here and what's coming because we want to make sure that we meet those needs tonight. So this is very exciting. Oh, Cynthia Zeller says she loves D3. It was a mindset that kept her being on that road continuously. So she wants to keep refreshing. Cynthia Zellers is one of our big leaders. So we love that. Thank you, Cynthia Zellers.
That's great.
All right,
You know
Chandra.
what we didn't say in the publicity, and I'm so glad to see everybody, that everybody who's here tonight in person, not the people who watch the tape, not the video recording, but everybody who's here tonight in person is going to get at the end of this something new and something free. We have something that we're launching later on this month for leaders and facilitators, and all of you are going to get it. It's going to cost money because it costs money to produce this, but all of you are going to get it for free, and I'm so excited about that.
I
So you're
love
in the right place at the right time,
that's right.
Yolanda. You're going to get content you would not have gotten for free had you not been here tonight.
This is
Anthony, same,
good.
same with you, all of you.
Yes. And Philip said help to spread the D-free message of financial freedom. And Chandra is representing Delta Sigma Theta from the sensational South Atlantic region. So
I'll
we are
be with
in.
you later on this month. Well, I'll be with the South Atlantic region later this month with their leaders.
Yes, indeed. Oh, I see a praise God in here. All right, Miss Gloria, thank you. Super excited. So this is good. So you all are in the right place at the right time, like Dr. Soares mentioned, and you all have the right focus. And so, like I said, we're going to meet those needs tonight. But as we reflect on these 20 years, it's been a long time, 20 years, and D-Free still feels fresh and new. But my question to you, Dr. Soares, is having been there from the beginning, the visionary, what is the moment that you're most proud of? What was the most rewarding out of these 20 years that you would reflect on?
Well, it's hard to say which is the most. In fact, every time I do a list of things that are the most, I get in trouble. So let's say,
I'm glad you said it. I'm glad you
let's say some of the highlights. I think I really do think the most rewarding and exciting part of this 20-year journey has been the team of people. The team has worked on staff like you and others who are making this happen tonight. And then the extended staff that works for free, volunteers who are facilitators, people who have participated on Monday Night Lives, the network of people. It's almost an army of activists who are passionate about their own finances. They're compassionate as it relates to other people's finances. And that's really been the joy of these 20 years. I get email, I get
said.
text messages, I get direct messages on social media from people, all of whom are like a large family. So that's really number one. The pastors, the leaders, chapter presidents, economic development chairs, all of these people, those who are on tonight, have just enriched my life in ways that words can't describe. And then the partnerships that we've had. You
Mm,
know, Martin Luther King in 1967 wrote a book called Where Do We Go From Here, Chaos or Community? And
mm,
in that book, he really described Black America as having sufficient numbers of organizations. We've got churches, we've got sororities, we've got fraternities, we've got professional organizations. I mean, Black America is saturated with social infrastructure. And what Dr. King said was that all of our organizations should have an agenda that empowers Black people and not just have colors and socials and other kinds of activities. And what I love about the Deltas, the Zetas, National Baptist Convention, we're working now with Church of God in Christ. We've worked with Full Gospel. We've worked with organizations that have taken the content that we create and made it their own. And that's an honor. It's an honor to be able to work with people because what we're not trying to do is build our own kingdom. What we're attempting to do is to work for the kingdom by being servants to those who are empowering our people. So that's been exciting. I think a lot of people don't realize that the South African Baptist Convention has
yes.
adopted D-Free as a national program.
Mhm.
The Baptist Seminary in Liberia has taught D-Free. I've been there. We
Mm.
have, in fact, when the first D-Free book came out, Reverend, the one of the first book signings and receptions we had was at the Jamaican embassy to the United States.
Oh,
And
wow.
the ambassador, Audrey Marks from Jamaica to the US, hosted a book signing and promoted D-Free. And there were 5 other ambassadors from Caribbean countries. And so we've made an impact on, and we have relationships with throughout the Caribbean. And then Home Free USA, a
Yeah.
non-religious organization, but a first-time home buyer organization. We're going there in a few weeks to be with them in Colorado. So that's exciting. And but the most exciting, the absolute most exciting are the testimonies.
Yes.
People, we had a family who paid off $247,000 of debt. We had a
Awesome.
young woman in her 20s who paid off all of her student loans before she turned 27. So these kinds of testimonies are actually just the fuel for our engine that we call D-Free. And then you were involved in the Newark Women Moving Forward.
Yeah. Yeah.
The mayor's wife, the first lady of Newark, Linda Baraka, organized a citywide campaign. We trained how many facilitators? Probably 25 to 30
We had about
facilitators.
30 something. Yeah, it was a little over
And
30.
all over the city of Newark, they
Mhm.
had in libraries and churches, in community centers, they had a simultaneous citywide D-free initiative. And then at the end, we had a big
Yes.
citywide D-free graduation. It was unbelievable. People came dressed up, their families came. It was just amazing. And it's something we really want to do. We want to go to Shreveport. We want to go to Detroit and see if they can replicate the Newark model. Of course, we'll be talking later about the new book. I'm very excited about the new book. We posted today on Instagram the difference between the new book and the old book, and we'll talk about that later on ourselves. These are some of the highlights. I'm not going to commit to any one of them being the number one, but
Okay.
all of them combined are the highlights of these 20 years. And I thank God for you and for your sticking by my side personally and traveling with me and traveling for me and being a part of the leadership team here.
As I mentioned, it has been an honor. I do have to continue to shout out the chat because you got a lot going on in the chat. We have good evening from Marietta, Georgia. That's Delta Sigma Theta. Good
Oh
evening
yeah,
from another Morris Brown AME Church in Philadelphia, as well as Alfred Street is back in it. So they're looking
great
to
church,
start and relaunch. So yes, and they shouted out their
definitely.
sister church, Wheeler Avenue. And then Cynthia Zellers had an amazing comment. It says, by doing the D-Free program and reading the books, it gives me something to reference back to. And when I need to use up that emergency funding, D-Free encourages me to start over again. I love that. Thank you, Cynthia, for saying that because that's the thing about D-Free. What I love about it is that you get to hit the reset button over and over again. And every time I read the book, something else jumps out at me. And so really appreciative of you sharing that. So thank you, Cynthia. It's so interesting, Dr. Stories. As I listen to your list, I know you were treading lightly because lists have gotten you in trouble. But some of those moments were just so pivotal, even in my own journey. And so I'm just as you're going through, I'm reminiscing on some of the things that I've been able to witness through D Free myself. So
And
yes.
the other thing we don't talk about enough, but we will when this new website comes out, is the work we've done in Africa. We've taken almost 500 people over the last 15 to 17 years to Ghana, West Africa, and recently we went to Uganda, Kenya, Rwanda, and Tanzania. And
Mm,
when we go to Ghana, we through the D-Free Foundation, we support community development activities.
wow.
When we have D-Free activities here, we're doing education, we're doing motivation, and we're offering resources. But when we go to Ghana, we take it a step further. We have built a library, we have built a health clinic, we have built sanitary facilities for people who use outhouses. We're building wells for clean water in Uganda. And the
Mm,
people who have traveled with us to these countries are the ones who are funding this development. Wheeler Avenue Baptist Church has donated $400,000
my
to
gosh.
our community development activities
Mm,
in Ghana. And we'll talk much more about that when we get closer to the groundbreaking of the new facility that they're funding. So the community development piece of the D-Free Foundation is so big, and I've been really sensitive to the need to talk about that so much more.
yes, and everyone that comes back talks about how transformative the trip is for them. They don't stop talking about the work that we're doing there and their experience when they come. So shout out to D Free Africa. I know you guys are there, so shouting out everyone there as well. It's funny you mentioned Newark Women Moving Forward because that was one of my top fives, if I had to say top five as well. But I also remember the graduation, the homecoming we did. Remember we had that homecoming theme at First
Right,
Baptist? That was
right,
such an amazing conference. It was wonderful, and I loved it because we had young people, we had seasoned saints, we had every age group covered, and we had so many different things going on at the same time. It was like First Baptist Church had been transformed into a campus, and it felt like
right.
a homecoming. So that was a good one. I also remember the first Deadathon. That was amazing. We did that virtually, but that was a good pivot. And then it kind of morphed into Fest. Our first Fin Fest was incredible. Second and the third, and as we continue to do those. And then I think one of my other top fives, and I don't know, I got to shout out first Zeta Phi Beta because when you came to Boule, that year. First of all, there was so much going on. You know, Vice President Harris had just announced her presidency, running for president, and you were there with the Zetas. It was like a star had been born. Dr. Stories walked through, and there was lines on top of lines of people wanting to get their books signed. That, and that was super amazing. But I gotta shout out also Delta Sigma Theta, because do you remember when we graduated the 900 women virtually?
Right.
That was so awesome. It was at a pivotal time within the sorority. I think lost your international president, and so we were very sensitive to that. But your new president came on and greeted everyone in such a powerful way. Everybody had on white. You all graduated, and it was a virtual graduation because we were in the middle of COVID. But when I say 900 women showed up, we had so many pages on Zoom. We were just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. It was great. We had a really wonderful time. And so those are my top five, I think.
You
For all
know,
of
the deltas represent something very interesting that I want everyone here to understand. The way we developed our partnership with Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated was because a church in Durham, North Carolina
Mhm.
invited us early on, I mean, way back around 2006, to bring DFREE to their church. We had no workbooks, we had no training, we had no website. We were just getting started. And the woman who was assigned by the pastor to lead the DFREE ministry in his church
Mhm.
also happened to be the chair for economic development for the Delta Sigma Theta sorority. And
Mhm.
she said to me, we not only need this in our church, we need this in our sorority. And so she took it
Wow.
back and made DFREE a part of the national program for the Deltas. And then Carmen McClendon, who succeeded her, became the chair for economic development. And she just kind of took us to a whole new level. And I really want to thank the Deltas because uh, they gave me the Presidential Award for Excellence, which for me was as big as winning the Nobel Peace Prize. So the Deltas have really embraced DFREE, and because of the way the Deltas have done it, other national organizations have been able to kind of mimic their strategy and build on their successes. But I say that to say this, Reverend. One of the things all of you should know is that if you're with a church or any other organization, what you have the potential to do is to not only bring DFREE to your primary organization, but like the Deltas, take it to your family, take it to your book club, take it to your job. We have now content that's appropriate for the workplace and for the community, which means that the DFREE curriculum has now been adapted to wherever people are. So the deltas represent that. The zetas came along and really took it another level and actually created a DFREE office within the chapters. so
Yes.
the zeta chapters have DFREE coordinators and not just economic development committees. So it's been a growth that has been inspiring, and that's why we wanted to pause tonight to thank God and thank all of you for helping these 20 years be as productive as they have been.
It's been incredible. It has been a wonderful, wonderful journey. I know you said you're gonna let some folks in on some little secrets, so I want to give you an opportunity to share some of that, some of the things that we have coming up. I know we're going to talk a little bit about the new book.
Well, yeah, I will say a word about the new book because that's the basis for the facilitator and leadership training. You know, I wrote the original D3 book back in 2010. And right after I finished writing it, I was diagnosed with cancer. And while my publisher was working through the name of the book, the color of the cover, and some of the editorial changes, I was trying to get back on my feet after having had surgery for cancer. So I didn't give it as much attention as I would have had I been healthy. So that was 2010. Then in 2015, I went back to my publisher and said, listen, we've been doing this for 5 years. We've learned some things. We've got a lot of feedback. And so what we like to do is change the cover, change the name, update the content. And that's where Say Yes to No Debt came from, and the blue book and the rest of it. So then I went back to the publisher a couple of years ago and said, it's been since 2015 that we had the book. And a lot has changed since then. There was no Grubhub in 2015. There was no sports gambling in 2015. There had been no pandemic in 2015. And our community really deserves and needs updated content. And the publisher and I had a pretty significant disagreement. And so, just fast forward, we now have the new book, despite the fact that the publisher was not willing to help. We have
Okay.
two new books. We have one for the community based organizations that are secular. It's the same 12 steps, the same principles, the same values, but appropriate to use in government settings and in corporate settings. Then we have the faith based book, which is biblical, scriptural. It quotes it and now actually the community book, quotes the Bible and refers, but it does it slightly differently than the book that's going to be used in church. So these it's the same book. So for most of you who are in churches, the Deltas are real churchy, and so they use the faith-based book. This book with the yellow cover is the book, and let me tell you the difference. This book, as most people know, is based on my personal experience. I I could not become financially free until I tackled my use of credit cards as though they were cash, my desire to drive luxury cars when I can only afford to use Honda, my living above my means, my looking good on the outside and being jacked up on the inside. I tell young folk today I was woke but broke. I was politically active. I was speaking truth to power, fighting Pharaoh, telling him to let my people go when we were signing up for slavery. So the first books really focused so much on debt that DFREE became known primarily as focused on debt. I went to a convention one time I was walking through and somebody said, "Hey, Reverend Debt." I said, "No, I'm not Reverend Debt." But this book focuses as much on achieving financial freedom after you get out of debt. So, for instance, we talk about where the economy is going and areas that you need to think about shifting to if
Mm,
you lost a government job, if your company is downsizing, if AI is taking your job, if
wow.
technology is displacing you. There are some sectors that are doing well and they're growing. We talk about that in this book. We talk about buying companies. We talk about buying small businesses. Today, there are millions of people my age who are aging out of their small businesses. Their children don't want the business, and there are businesses available for sale. And entrepreneurship is not just starting a business, but buying a business. There's a
Wow.
whole section on what kind of businesses people should think about buying, not just individually, but collectively. We
Wow.
talk in this book about gambling. I didn't say much about gambling at all
Mhm.
in the first book, but today gambling is like throwing gasoline on the financial fire. That if you're gambling online, you're using your credit card to play a
Yeah.
game that you're likely to lose. So you're
Mm,
losing money on the game, and then you're losing money by paying interest on the charge you did to play the game. We talk about the relationship between financial stress and mental health. We're suffering from a mental health crisis, especially in the post COVID area. And we talk about mental health in ways that we should understand that and respond to it. So the book is very expansive. I worked very hard on both of these books. And the new workbook aligns with the book, and the new training that you're going to see a sample of tonight is aligned with the workbook and the book. It's very exciting. It's contemporary. I've got statistics from 2025. I finished
okay.
writing the book just a couple of months ago, so it's all current. There's no old data in there from 2006. This is a current book. The data is coming from the Federal Reserve and other sources, and I couldn't be more excited than I am today about these products.
I am super excited about it as well, and as you were speaking, I was going down memory lane. I was I was
See,
going down
yeah,
memory lane.
that's a function of being old. Oh, the other thing, Reverend, and many of you who have been with us for a while, you know this is true. Our data indicated that the area of our greatest weakness was convincing people to finish D free with a written will. That having a will, having your last will and testament is important. So in this book, I talk about James Brown dying without a will. I talk
Yes.
about Aretha Franklin dying without a will.
Mhm.
I talk about Prince dying without a will. I talk about Howard Hughes with all of his money, no will.
Mhm.
Pablo Picasso, great artist, no will. So we put so much emphasis because we collected data. And you'll see in the facilitator training that I explain why data is important. That's why data is important. Data is important because from data you can see where you're strong, where you're weak. You can see how you're impacting people's lives. And if you work more closely with us than many of you have, we can give you the data to show you how effective and impactful you've been in your DFREE program in your setting.
Great. Those metrics are super. I just want to let everybody know that the link has been dropped in the chat. If you are interested in getting the Say Yes second edition book, the link has been dropped in the chat. Also, I see a comment from Mr. Anthony Jenkins. He's asking, how about physical health and how that affects our financial health? Yeah, I think
We
you.
talk about that. And of course, our marquee event at DFREE is FinFest. And
Yes.
the theme for FinFest is health protecting wealth.
Mhm.
And we now have a partnership with a healthcare organization here. And we're talking to other partners in Baltimore, St. Louis, and other places because physical health and financial health go hand in hand. It doesn't matter how rich you are if you're too sick to spend the money. So
Right.
we have many events and content to deal with mindfulness, meditation, physical exercise, and taking care of your body.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for addressing that. We have a couple more shout outs. We have someone from Memphis, Tennessee who's new to DFREE and she looks forward to facilitating a group with her book club and her family. And you can speak a
Great.
little bit about that because we enjoyed your family over the summer working through coming up. Also, a shout out to the Inland Valley Alumni Chapter Economic Development Committee Chair from DST, Miss Shayla. Hello, welcome, welcome, welcome. Good to see you. I see all your emojis, and I think we had AKA. Kamaria is an AKA, so she's representing. So almost the Divine Nine is on here. So we're happy to see everybody there. I think we're ready to talk about facilitators training, right?
Yeah, we call this facilitator training. And in the training, as you'll see, we make it clear, first and foremost, you should not be, and it's better if you're not a financial professional. Leading a D-free program or a course or D-free sessions is not teaching money.
Mhm.
I tell a story in the facilitator training about the first D-free leader, and he'll be on at the end of this month. And I chose him because he was a big time executive at a financial services company. He gets up in front of the whole congregation and says, I need this myself. I thought I was appointing a role model when in fact I was appointing a student. So the facilitated training is brand new. We just finished it last week, literally, and this training is in 8 parts. Um, I have 8 videos. I start with what D3 is. I talk
Mhm.
about the role of the facilitator, which I think you're going to see tonight.
Yes.
And the first 2 videos are 5 minutes long. So
Yes.
that kind of introduces you to the training. Then videos 3 through 8 on average are 10 minutes long. So the whole experience is about 70 minutes long. And this training that I'm describing now is going to be packaged into a group cost. Up until now, what we've done is we've had training over here, we've had book sales over there, we've had workshops, workbook sales over yonder, we've had the online academy. And what we have learned over these few years is that it's important to put it together to make sure because it's easier for users. It's easier to you for users, it's easier for leaders, it's easier for facilitators. So the D-free facilitator training,
Mhm.
and you can call it leadership training if you want, but
Yes.
it's available. And tonight, because you're here, we're going to provide you with the D-free facilitator toolkit for free. Now it's going to cost money to those who aren't here tonight, but for those
Yes.
of you who are here tonight, you're going to get this toolkit for free. Now, why does it cost money? It costs money because we have discovered that the more we do for people for free, the less skin they have in the game. Now, we do have a foundation, And that foundation has the right and has made commitments to serving people, certain organizations, and certain individuals for free because we never want to be unaffordable. But there are also people who have the sufficient commitment to buy into our products. And you'll see what the price list is, and you'll see what the individual books cost when you get this toolkit. So the training um, will be available by a link. When we finish this session in about 24 minutes, you'll have a link. You'll have access to the training. You'll see the videos. You'll have the workbook. You'll have the facilitator guide. The facilitator guide, and many of you have experienced the old guide, the new guide actually walks you through how to do this. And there are various options on how to do it. Some groups meet in person, some groups meet as hybrid, it's in person and online. A lot of folks do this online, like Reverend Sutton said, we had 900 deltas online at the same time.
Yep.
So it's it's according to your leadership, your vision, your context. And of course, our team will always be available to help you make some decisions and execute the way you'd like to execute.
Absolutely. So before we get into facilitators training, I do want to let everybody know if you are on the line tonight, I hope you didn't miss that. You're getting it for free. So that means if you are starting DFREE for the first time, you're going to get the facilitator training. If you've already completed facilitator training, you get to get recertified. You get the new
Right.
information hot off the presses right away before anybody else gets it and before anybody else has to pay for it. So you're getting it for free. And so I hope you all understand what a great gift this is. I think we have about 90 people on the line right now. So we're giving this away to 90 folks. And so at least on this platform, I'm not sure what's going on YouTube right now, but we have a lot going on. And so we're super excited about it. So congratulations to all of you just for being faithful, just for spending your Thursday night with us and not watching the Eagles and the Cowboys. We are excited to be able to give this to you. So I think we're ready to roll that clip.
Yeah, so we're going to show you one of the 8 modules of the DFREE Facilitator Training. So let's start with the role of the facilitator. Now, what's important to start with is that we use the term facilitator as opposed to teacher, as opposed to even leader. We'll come back to leader in a minute. But the reason we use the word facilitator is because one need not be a financial expert to facilitate a DFREE session or DFREE class or DFREE workshop. The truth is, you don't have to know anything about money because this is more of a book club type approach where people come together, they read the book, and they talk about their takeaways from the book. When we talk more about how to structure each session, I'll go into more detail. But the point is, a facilitator is really facilitating conversations about the book, which talks about money. So in that sense, this is not really financial literacy as much as it is a financial awareness, focusing on our financial mentality with a facilitator or a discussion leader that's helping us work and walk through the content. Now, of course, we have a book and a workbook, and the facilitator can literally use each session to go through the various commitments in the workbook. That's why the workbook is there. So the responsibility of the facilitator is to make sure that there's interaction in the group, that the group keeps pace with itself. We'll talk more in a few minutes about what happens when a person misses a session if you're having in-person sessions. But the role of the facilitator is not to be the teacher or to be the lecturer, but best understood as a discussion leader. When we first started DFREE in 2005, we started it at my church, and as the minister and the leader, it was my job to identify the person who I thought would be both the leader and the facilitator. We've learned since then that we need really more than one person. I'll talk more about that when we focus on organizational structure. But I identified a young man in our congregation who was absolutely committed, never missed church on a Sunday, happily married, and just one of the nicest guys you ever want to meet. And he worked in financial services. So, of course, I assumed that a high ranking executive at a major global financial company would be absolutely the best person to be our first, what we call D-free leader. So I asked him to do it. He's thrilled to do it. I share with him what our vision is. And on Sunday morning, I introduce him to the whole congregation. He gets up in front of almost 2,000 people and he thanks me as his pastor and leader for giving him this opportunity. And then he actually says, I need this more than anybody in the church. Here I am thinking that I'm putting the symbol of financial success there. And he gets up and starts sharing the fact that he's in debt, he doesn't have a budget, and all of these things that we're teaching in D-Free. And what we learned was that's the best kind of person to have. Often financial experts are there to sell. Financial experts really speak down to people. No offense to financial experts. And financial experts are sometimes so technically trained that it's hard for them to relate to everyday people with everyday needs. The reason the facilitator is such an important person is because the facilitator creates the environment of being a safe place. The facilitator moves at the pace that people would like to move. Often it has taken 3 sessions or 3 weeks to go through one chapter of the book. And a facilitator has to be sensitive enough to not use the book as law, but to use the book as a guide and to use the workbook as a tool. So think about yourself if you plan to be a facilitator and understand that there's no need for you to be an expert. And if you are an expert, there's no need for you to convince people that you're an expert, because this is a people-to-people enterprise. And the more honest we are, the more humble we are, the more transparent we are. Listen, you read the book, and if you haven't read the book, when you do, what you'll know is that half of the book just reveals in a transparent way all the dumb things I did with money. My addiction to neckties, my driving a luxury car when I could only afford a non-luxury car. So that's what the facilitator does. And you should be comfortable knowing that once you are certified as a facilitator, if you've decided that that's how you can be effective and you have a passion to help people, you're in the right place, you're qualified to do it, because this is about who you are more so than what you know. All right. Reverend, that training course, it really emanates from the part of the book called For Leaders Who Want to Launch a D-Free Movement. It's actually in the book. It was in the old book, it's in the new book. My publisher didn't want it in the book, but I insisted that it be in the book. And so what I do is elaborate through these 8 videos on the key points that I make and add, supplement, and embellish that part of the book to make sure it's user friendly and people have access to more content than they would get if they just had the book.
That is brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. And I love that there are next steps. You know, a lot of times we finish the book and then people are like, what next? And so you've already created next steps, and the videos are so crisp and clear and easy, and you put it where people can reach it. And that's what I love about D-Free as a whole, but particularly this content. And so we've dropped the link in the chat. The link that we dropped in the chat was for your toolkit. Now, we want to make sure that you keep this toolkit to yourself. It is not to be transferred. It is for those who showed up. If your friend didn't show up tonight, they don't get the toolkit. So make sure it's just for you, to congratulate you and thank you. And so that's in our chat right now. So that's the dfreecommunity.com. And then there's the toolkit. All right. Oh, you love the old videos. Okay, Shayla. But new videos are nice and crisp. So we got those as well. So this is a good thing. Let me see who else is in here. We want to make sure, okay, they're checking the link. So make sure you check that link so that you can get it. And then we want to be able to kind of open up the floor for some questions. I think that's a good time to, if anybody has any questions. We said a lot tonight. We will be meeting with you again every Thursday night with something new and fresh. But because you are part of this exclusive audience, you have an audience with the king. So if you have any questions for our chief CEO and founder, CEO and chair rather, please feel free to go ahead and ask those questions at this time.
While you're looking for questions, I'll
Uh-huh.
also mention that the online academy, which we'll show you in 2 weeks, the online academy has also been updated. A lot of the old content is unchanged, but a good portion of it has been updated. I've got some new videos that aren't in the old online academy, and we'll show you that on week 3 of our celebration.
I haven't seen that, so I'm excited to see that
Right.
too. Yes, yes, yes. So please, please be sure to grab that link out of the chat. And if you have any questions about our new content or some of the things we've shared today, or even if you just want to walk down memory lane with DFREE, then we invite you to do that right now. I'm checking. Let me see. We have 90 folks on here. Come on, we breaking 100. Don't listen. Don't try to call your friend and say if you hurry up and get on, you're gonna get the free content. We don't want that. We want to make sure they join us though. So let's see. Oh, let's see what's going on. I'm going to ask our team that's monitoring YouTube to make sure they send some things as well. Okay, so they're telling me the link is not live. Some people are having trouble with the link. I think it's going to be live after the video. Is it? I mean, after our time together. Is that when we're going to do it, or is it? I'm going to ask our team.
I thought the link was going live after we shut this down.
That's what I think. I think it's right after this. So I just want to make sure that you know that you grab the link and then you'll be able to use it um, with the 20 DFREE coupon code, and you'll be able to get that for free. Okay. Maria says it is live. Okay. All right. Well, we just want to make sure that you're able to get it. So that is the link. So just grab that information, save it, put it somewhere on one of your, what do they call it, clipboard? Put it on your clipboard so that you can use it right after we get off of this call. But yes, and the
One of
code.
my former students from New Brunswick Seminary is on,
Oh, you saw
Reverend
that?
Ray. Good to see you. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
taught the DP course at New Brunswick Seminary 2 semesters, I think. And I remember her. Good to see you, Reverend Reagan.
Yes, yes, yes. And Mr. Darnell Lewis says, you all are doing an amazing job. Thank you for making it happen. Thank you all for making it happen. All right.
Well, thank you.
Stella says she's
A lot
excited.
of people, a lot
Okay.
of people make this happen who are behind the scenes. The whole team right now that's managing this platform is in Accra, Ghana, and all of the email that goes out from DFREE, almost everything we do online comes from a group of young people led by Angie Datson in Accra, Ghana. I decided that if major corporations can outsource work to the Philippines and to India and Pakistan and Ukraine, then we as an African American organization can outsource work to Africa. And so we owe a great debt of gratitude because it is 5 hours later there than it is here. So whenever we do an event like this, our Ghanaian team is staying up well after midnight making
Yeah.
this happen. So thank you to Angie and Johnson and the rest of the team.
Yes, thank you all so, so much. I have to read Stella's comment. She says she's no, I'm sorry. Yeah, Stella, I'm excited about the new facilitators training. Thank you, Dr. Soares. And she was able to copy and paste link into a new browser, and it is working. So those of you who have it, make sure you copy and paste the link into a new browser. And Stella has confirmed that it is indeed working. Now Patrice is she's driving, so she's not able to
Oh
grab.
Lord.
We don't want you trying to cut and paste while you're driving, Patrice. We are so happy. We already in the chat, and you shouldn't be in the chat, but we're gonna make sure you get what you need to get. All right. And so please reach out to us separately. Yep. Y'all are quiet tonight. Let me make sure.
But I didn't everybody register via email? So we have everybody's email address who is here tonight, right?
We should have everybody's, and we should be able to
Good.
confirm
Okay, good.
who was attended, because there's some people that showed up that may have registered but didn't come out tonight. So I want to make sure they don't get it for free. No, I'm just kidding. All right, I see. Oh, wait, Enrico County Alumni Chapter is here as well. The Deltas are in the building. I see them. I'm scrolling through the chat now just in case I missed a comment. Oh, Regina Walker says she's so excited to be connected to us. She said, doing a great job, Dr. Soares. So shout out to Regina Walker, one of our
And
favorite.
she's one of those financial professionals who's down to earth and speaks real English to people.
Yes.
So Regina, I wasn't talking about you.
Yeah. That was about you. Oh, wait. Here's something else. Okay. So Kirby, I don't know, it's FT Kirby, completed a DFREE course with Prince George's County Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta, but also wants to get certified so she can bring it to St. Paul UMC in Oxon Hill, Maryland. That's great.
Wonderful.
You are in the
Wonderful.
right spot. You are in the right
That,
spot.
that area of the country is
PG
of great
County.
concern to me personally because a lot of the federal employees that are being
Yeah,
downsized live in PG County.
yeah,
Black women are hard hit. The highest percentage of people being impacted by the budget cuts in the federal government are Black women. And
yes.
so far this year, 319,000 Black women have lost their jobs
Mm,
from the federal government. So anything we can do to pour into and support the efforts in the DMV, please make sure you let us know. Alfred Street is critical. A lot of federal workers go to Alfred Street. The federal government is impacting that region
mhm.
significantly.
Yes, indeed. It looks like Rhonda Dowdy is joining in from Los Angeles, California. See, this is the one time it's early for her. Well, so we thank you for sneaking away and joining us today.
Well, and can I say this? The reason we started at 7:30, which
Mhm.
was I insisted on, and not 7 o'clock, which is when we normally start things, was
Yes,
primarily to give people in California a little extra time to get here. A lot of times, East Coast people think the whole world lives on the East Coast,
we
but the
do.
fact of the matter is, a lot of us live on the West Coast, and we need to be sensitive to that fact when we schedule events like these because Rhonda it was 4:30, 7:30 is
Yes.
4:30. So
Mhm.
so thanks
And
Rhonda for making
yes,
time for
indeed.
us.
And while you're mentioning the DMV, we got to shout out Lauren Vaughn and LaRosha Paul. They're both from the Federal City Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta, which is located in Washington, D.C. So,
Right,
and shout out to
right,
you all. Yep,
right.
yep.
I'm coming to LA, Rhonda. Macedonia, I think it's Macedonia Baptist Church in Los Angeles is going to host a book signing and workshop. And we're just working on scheduling now.
Yes, we got to make sure we continue to share your schedule for the book signing because there's so many people that have been asking when you're coming to their area. And I think you're going to be able to travel to a lot of places there. And then Vernon Bright, we have to say hello to him because he's a facilitator from New Testament United Pentecostal Church. Where's
Wonderful.
New Testament at? Please let us know where your church is, Vernon, when you get a chance. Yeah, there's quite a few people that are in the chat. Let me see. We got some new comments. So let's get in there. Oh, people are saying thank you. Shalonda Scott says thank you. I think Regina appreciated her shout out. And Gloria registered through the Circle. She registered through Circle. We're gonna be talking about Circle soon. So thank
On
you,
the
Gloria.
18th,
Yep.
yeah, on the 18th, we're going to be talking about our new dfreecommunity.com. We've got about 900 people who have been helping us shape that. And the whole idea is to build our own basically social media platform away from Facebook, away from Twitter, a place where we're not bombarded by advertising, where we're sharing secrets and suggestions and tips with each other. And it's on a platform called Circle, but it's the DFREE community. So thank you.
And while you're there, Dr. Soares, we got to give a shout out to the Canadian team. So you want to
Canadian,
shout? Yes, the one who made the course, the Canadian team who made the course, who did our course for us, the team in
you
Canada.
know, no, they're in England.
Okay, well, Angie is sending you a note, so she said to shout them out.
Oh, Maxine is in Canada. That's right. I forgot about Maxine. She's Ghanaian, but she's in Canada. That's
Okay,
right. I forgot about Maxine, but she's an hour earlier than us. But yeah, Maxine is she just graduated with her master's degree in film and media production, and she is the key curator and partner of mine in building out the DFREE Facilitator Training, updating the DFREE Online Academy. Yeah, I forgot about Maxine in
yeah,
Canada. So we
yes,
have Canadians, we have Ghanaians, and then Sanaya is in England. She was in Qatar. She
yes,
goes back and forth because her husband works in Europe.
love it. So we have some questions in the chat. The first one is,
Sure.
what are some of the biggest challenges facilitators may have when they're leading?
The biggest challenge is um, waiting for a big crowd to start. You know, as Christians, we believe where two or three are gathered together, that the power shows up. So just start. The biggest challenge is thinking you may need um, 20, 30, 40 people to start. Just start where you are and it'll grow organically.
Yeah, absolutely. And then let's see, I have another question. Cynthia Zeller says she saw a little while back that you were coming to Louisville. Are you still coming? And if so, when?
Yes, I'll be at Louisville. I'll be in Louisville twice this year. I'll be at St. Stephen's Baptist Church on the fourth Sunday of September this month, and then I'll be at Bates Memorial Baptist Church on the second Sunday in December.
All right, Cynthia Zellers, get ready, get ready, get ready. Let's see. Oh, another person from Federal City alumni. That's Letitia Joyce Ann. So we want to shout her out as well. Shanta Mack wants to know. She says she currently uses this as a tool, and she's expanding stewardship lessons at her church. She says she's also a member of the Gary alumni chapter of Delta Sigma Theta. So this is one of those church and Delta connections we have. So she wanted to
Yeah,
say that.
there are churches that use this for stewardship campaigns.
Mhm.
There are churches that use this for Christian education. Bates Memorial makes it a part of their Sunday school options. And so every season when people sign up for Sunday school, this becomes an option. I know, I think Alfred Street also uses this in their Christian education program.
Mhm.
A lot of churches use this around stewardship because once we change our mentality and once we complete this process, we not only are more willing to give, but we've found money that we didn't realize we had. And that money in part comes to support the church just out of gratitude and also out of our change in values. You know, the Bible says that given should be given back to you, pressed down, shaken together. So there are non-churches. The one of our partners, Increasing Hope in Charleston, South Carolina, is a first-time home buyer organization, and that organization uses DFREE as a companion to people that are being prepared to buy homes and to get down payment assistance. Then in Grand Rapids, Michigan, we've got Grand Rapids here. Project Green, which is a community organization, uses DFREE as a companion to their financial empowerment programs and their savings incentives and the like. We have a healthcare company that uses DFREE for their employees as a employee benefit. So they bought hundreds of books in the first part of DFREE. Now they're transitioning, and you'll see on the 18th the next level of DFREE because we've got 18 mini courses that are created for the phone, and the healthcare company is buying not only the books, the workbooks, the academy, but also the mini courses that people go through on. Well, I can't tell you tonight. I have to tell you on the 18th.
We gotta hold some back. We gotta hold some back so everybody can come back on the 11th, the 18th, and the 24th as well. So the two more questions about your book tour. Will you be coming to Atlanta and will you be coming to Memphis?
The answer is yes. I'm not sure what the dates are. I was just with Dewey Smith at House of Hope last 2 weeks ago, well, before I went to Africa. Oh, I'm coming to Atlanta. Um, and when I say Atlanta, I'm talking Marietta and all those little places that are called Atlanta, but they're not really Atlanta. I'm coming to that big AME church in April. I know I'm doing that. And
Right.
Memphis, I'm not sure I have Memphis. I'm not sure we have Memphis on the schedule yet, but I've got a lot of friends in Memphis, not the least of whom being the Zetas and the Deltas.
Oh,
So
yes.
we're definitely coming to Memphis.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. We are super excited. I know the time is drawing near, so I just want to make sure that I thank you, Dr. Soares, for coming on today and just setting the atmosphere and letting everybody know what's coming. We're excited about getting a peek into the new book and just your thoughts behind facilitators training and all of those. Just going down memory lane. This has been so rewarding for me personally to think about where DFREE has started, where we are currently, and where we're going. So for all of you who are on, we're excited and thank you for coming on and joining because you all been a part of the journey, whether you're in the beginning of the journey or whether or not you've been walking with us this whole time. So we're grateful. Dr. Stories, any last any
Yeah,
parting
I
thoughts?
could use a favor. We haven't done this a lot, but we're going to do it more. All of you are on tonight. The recording from tonight will be on YouTube. If you would go to the G Free Movement YouTube page, like the page, follow the page, and then share it with your followers. Put it on your social platforms, put it on YouTube. Your YouTube followers, if you have a YouTube channel, put it on your Facebook. I know you got Facebook pages. Put it on your Instagram. If 90 people share this with 90 people, we've doubled in a day. And it's not that we're trying to be big, we're just trying to be impactful. And there are people who will listen to you before they'll listen to me. And if they know you're listening to me, they'll listen to you, and you'll have a greater influence on their lives than I do. We are facing tremendous headwinds right now. This is the first time in most of our lives we've seen the federal government be as explicit as it is in communicating and executing policies that go directly counter to everything we've worked on since 1954.
Mhm.
And a lot of the people who are behind this movement have been trying to get us back to 1954 ever since the Brown versus Board of Education decision was made by the Supreme Court. We have two choices. We can just kind of suffer through it, or we can do like our forebears did, like our ancestors did, like those who did since we got here, and that is to make the most of what we have, to work together as best we can, and to trust God to do for us despite what people are trying to do to us. And so this is a movement. It's not a business. Excuse me. It's not a corporation as much as it's a movement, and a movement requires people moving. And if you would begin the process of sharing by sharing this video and spreading the word and calling your friends and informing your family, then we can really make an impact. Movements start with small groups of people, and although we've touched thousands over the years, we're treating this and this month as if we're starting from scratch. That's why we've created new content. We've got new books. We've got new platforms. We've invested literally close to $2 million uh, into all of what you're going to see this month. $2 million in content, in publication, and that doesn't include staffing. That's just in technology and in all of the rest of the products that we'll show you later on this month. So if you would help us spread the word, it will make the investment worthwhile. So God
Yes.
bless you. Thanks for being here.
Yes, and you can start by inviting someone to next Thursday night. We'll be here at 7:30 next Thursday night. Looking forward to this is the second of the four-part series of the D-Free anniversary, celebrating the D-Free anniversary. So 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be here every Thursday throughout September as we celebrate D-Free's 20th anniversary with weekly programming. Also, as a gentle reminder, if you did not register to attend tonight's event, we may not have your email address. So please make sure you contact info@dfree.com in order to receive the facilitators toolkit by email. So we want to make sure you get that for free. You can RSVP for all of our events. Here's a little snapshot of what we were doing on the 4th, the 11th. Well, today's the 4th, the 11th, where we're talking to Say Yes to No Debt, where we're going to be answering live questions and the fireside chat with Dr. Sories and some national partners we have, as well as September 18th, where we're going to talk about all kinds of D-Free digital resources. That's going to be a big reveal. And then on September 24th is the big 20th anniversary soiree. You don't want to miss it. So please make sure you register and you RSVP. We look forward to seeing you all next Thursday. God bless you, everyone. And thank you for coming out tonight.
Thank you, Reverend.
Thank you, Pastor.